The very core of Dark Souls 3 PvP is basically backpedal forever, don't play the video game, and just react whenever someone does something first. Uh, as you can see in this fight, he throws out an attack. I hit him with an L1 with the Farron meme sword, which is a very fun sword to use. It doesn't really fit Dark Souls, Dark Souls style of, anything. But it's a really fun weapon to use, and fun for me in this game is a very rare thing to find. This is obviously a very old clip. I don't have Dark Souls 3 installed on my system anymore. Uh, I am proud to say that I've been Dark Souls 3 free for about, I don't know, 5, 6 months maybe. Seriously though, the most effective strategy in Dark Souls 3 PvP is to backpedal forever and just react. That's not a secret. I'm not giving you the revelation that I discovered it. This is a well-known fact, and it makes fights feel extremely repetitive. And I don't blame that this guy wanted to just have none of it. He just stood there for the entirety of the match. He let the timer go down, whatever, because he knows there's nothing he can do about it. And that's just the way it is. You choose to either play or not play. And even then, playing the PvP means half of it not playing the video game because you have to backpedal forever. So this is Gwynheim in Dark Souls 3. I recreated him here too. Like I mentioned before, I recreated him in every other Souls game. This is again another example. Gwynheim here uses a great axe too, but I chose this day to use the Millwood battle axe. You can see here that it's just awful. This guy's like a tank, but because poise is a fucking meme in Dark Souls 3. His armor means shit. His weapon means shit. I can just swing after he swings, just react to it, and it's repetitive even when you're invading. I notice, and it's just not fun for me. So that's why I sort of stopped. Then you come back here, and you see this. The combat in this game, and then you get a double kill, and that's when I say welcome again, everyone. This is a blood drunk hamster with another Bloodborne PvP video. Did I fool you into thinking that this was going to be Dark Souls 3 related? I'm sorry if I did. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean to trick anyone. I just wanted to sort of just show two clips that really embody the core and the failure in design of Dark Souls 3 PvP. I don't think it was done like that on purpose. I think it was just an unfortunate accident. But I'm not telling you to hate the game. I'm not telling you that I hate it either. I don't hate it. I had a lot of fun with Dark Souls 3 PvP, especially doing team fights with a friend of mine and making the other team salty and making them rage quit. That was always hilarious. The most fun I've had in Dark Souls 3. But yeah, when it came to duels and everything, nah, fuck that. It was two dudes not playing the video game. It was like, what the fuck is this? Why do we pretend that this is a fighting game? I mean, excuse me, I know that Dark Souls 3 is a very serious fighting game. Pressing R1 with a straight sword, it takes an incredible amount of concentration and skill. And then backing away for at least 5 minutes when holding L1 to block with your Black Knight shield. That also takes a lot of skill. And even more so, pressing triangle to two-hand your curved sword and then pressing R1, doing staggered R1s. Man, I don't know how the pros do it. They must be sponsored and everything. I heard that it's Dark Souls 3 is even going to be on EVO this year, right? The EVO 2018 Dark Souls backpedal contest? Was that it? I don't know. All joking aside, and all intense sarcasm aside, I've noticed a pattern in every Dark Souls game. Every tryhard has the same movement pattern. What I mean by that is they'll usually unlock and they'll run around in circles, and then they'll do something after you do something. So reactive play has always existed. But it's just, they all move the same. I don't know if they do it because they think they're doing some Super Smash Brothers Melee wave dashing or advanced movement technique. They're not. They look really stupid. And just look on YouTube. You can check out any of these try-hard YouTubers or whatever. They all do it. They run in circles forever. And I don't know if it's because they think that that's how a pro should move, you know, to signify that you're a pro or whatever, but you look stupid. If there's any tryhard watching this, you look stupid. And when you do that, I stand still, and then you wonder why I'm standing still. Because me standing still throws you off more than you think that running around throws me off. You look silly, and please stop. Stop doing that. You don't look like a pro when you do that. You look like you're spazzing on your controller. Anyway, enough about that. This character here is basically Gwynheim, but with a white color theme with red shades. His name is Halden, and he is an arcane build. He is basically the same thing as Gwynheim, except he uses a couple of hunter tools, and he has a bolt hunter's axe. Now, I showcased him a little bit in the previous video, but I was too busy ranting about the Bell Maiden invasion system in Bloodborne to properly talk about this character. This character was a pain in the ass to make. This is the second time that I've tried to make this character. The first iteration of this character was basically Gwynheim, which is just a 30 strength, 20 skill character. And I figured, well, if it's going to be... It was the same, except I had the cannon with me. And I was like, well, I already have the cannon on my strength character, and... I mean, why would I keep doing the same character? So I said, okay, let me switch it up to Arcane. Arcane and Blood Tinge are very interesting stats. They're what I call newbie traps. You know, they're newbie trap stats. Nowhere in the game do they tell you, like, if you're going to use Arcane and you want to use Arcane stuff on your weapon, you're going to have to farm very specific places and very specific enemies at very specific times to get the proper gems. And nowhere else does it say, hey, if you're going to invest in Blood Tinge, there's only like 2 weapons that benefit from Blood Tinge, and there are only very specific firearms that benefit from Blood Tinge. They don't tell you that shit. They just let it rock. So this character was a pain in the ass because I had to wait until the end of the DLC to farm the 18% bolt gems that you can find there. If I didn't have the DLC, I wouldn't even made this character, because it means that I would have had to farm Chalice Dungeons, and I am not going to do that shit. I already did it once with one of my Arcane characters, who's a high-level character. He's like a 150 character. Has like 70 Arcane or some shit like that. I don't know. I have 2 high-level characters, and they're a lot of fun. I made them basically only for PvE. But I did farm for that Arcane character, and I am not doing that shit again, so... I basically said, okay, then the plan is going to be that I'm going to basically use the Saw Spear with a bunch of crappy fire gems through the whole game. I'm going to upgrade my axe, put the gems in when I get them. So I did. And this character's weakness is really that because I have elemental damaging weapons, sometimes I don't do as much damage as the other characters that I have. But it's still good damage, don't get me wrong. It's great damage still. It's just not as much. So it's a little bit more difficult to handle 2v1s, 3v1s. It's not to say that it's impossible by any means. No, it's not. It's not what I'm saying. It's just that it's a little bit lower damage. Nothing that I can't deal with, honestly. But yeah, this character was just a pain to make, man. It was just... Ugh. But him and Gwynheim, story-wise, are basically 2 sides of the same coin. I don't want to get too into it. I don't know if some of you find it kind of cringy that I go into these characters so much or whatever. But like I said, I'm an amateur writer. I like to talk about characters and stuff. But basically, he's also part of the RPG game that I made that I told you about. Again, it's not a professionally made game. It was made in RPG Maker with mostly just basic assets. So it's not really... It's like a skeleton of a game rather than an actual full game. You replace all the basic assets with like original stuff and it becomes a game, an original game. But anyway, yeah, so the point is that this guy uses hunter tools sort of to aid him and overcome some stuff. Like if I'm in a 3v1, sometimes I'll pop the old hunter's bow and just dash around them to try to escape or something and put myself in a safer position. But even though this character was difficult to make, he's still a very fun character to use in PvP. And you can see here in the corner, this guy just basically killed himself because he just ran straight into that tree, right in the corner. Point forward, never down, and stop. The wait gesture is so good. It's like, stop. Just stop. Yeah. So yeah, that is Halden, and I will showcase more of him in this video. So it's gonna be his video today. This is a little bit more of a shorter video than normal, I guess. I've been putting out like 20-minute plus videos, which is I think it's good when I have a topic to discuss. But again, I want it to be for this video. I want it to be a little bit more chill. Talk about the character. Talk about the actual invasions that are going on. It's always fun to sort of arrive at a world because you never know what to expect. Like this is a co-opper, but I don't know if there's more co-oppers out there. Where the host is, I don't know anything. I just got here, so it's always fun to sort of assess the situation. There you see the random host just showed up out of nowhere. So yeah, a nice part of getting into the world is that initial excitement. You know, he got a parry on me from all the way over there. Fucking idiot. The executioner gloves, they actually let you combo into an R1. Look at how smart he is. He dodged into the fire, and then he died. That's why I'm telling you guys, if you're gonna dodge backwards, make sure you know where you're going and unlock and roll away, because the roll actually prevents you from getting stuck in corners. I know I mentioned it before, but I mean, it's very important to understand this. It's a great thing to do to truly escape killing yourself, basically, when you get trapped in a corner. There, the executioner gloves, they hit him. I get to hit him again. I really wanted to hit this guy with a fully charged R2 because he was asking for it. I mean, look at that. Oh man, I missed. My unlocked R2s, my aim with those were just not good on that day. They were not good at all. I'm half decent at really nailing those unlocked R2s. But on that day, I was just missing every single one. This was a little bit after I completed this character and I got the bolt gems and everything, and I was done with the PvE part. I was just relieved and I was kind of tired. But yeah, this guy was asking for it because you can see him just R1 mashing, even though I'm charging in front of him. So I'm like, okay, if I do some proper spacing, I can get that. Fighting game spacing, yeah. One thing that really gets to me is that people are using fighting game terminology for these games. It kind of pisses me off, but I mean, if you want to call it spacing, sure, go ahead. It's kind of difficult to call it anything else. You know, I like to call it, I personally like to call it, not spacing, I just call it the attack didn't hit me because there was no intense lag. That's what I call it. Because you know these games are completely reliant on the connection not being total ass. You know, and people talk about the Bloodborne netcode. It doesn't matter which Souls games it is, dude. It's the same thing in every game. My spacing, my spacing. Yeah, you can call it a spacing. I just call it not shitty connection. But whatever. So this is a 2v1 here in Canehurst. Canehurst is a great place to invade, man. It's a huge area. The blood ticks or the blood lickers, whatever the fuck they're called, they're fuck ugly. I call them fuck ugly things. They're really strong. The ones in the DLC, they're garbage compared to the ones here. These are 100% branded and certified, 100% fully Canehurst bred blood ticks. And they will slap your shit, and they will slap you forever, and they will just fucking murder you, and they'll drink your blood, and then you're gonna respawn, and they're gonna do it again. So I really didn't know what to expect. I was just sort of testing them out, see who's the mashy one. The Tanitrus guy is really mashy. This guy's just doing R2s because, you know, he has a friend to cover him. Then another guy showed up, and I'm like, okay. And then I log on to him when he shows up, and I'm like, oh no, you know, he's using Black Sky Eye. There it is. And I lock onto him, and it's like, oh no, he's over leveled. Oh no, 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 no. So at that point, I said, okay, look, I'm not doing too much damage. I don't have I don't do visceral attack damage, so I can't just parry them and then, you know, threaten them with that, because they're gonna laugh at me if I do that, because my damage is gonna be so garbage. I have zero investment in skill. It's all arcane. So I said, okay, then the enemies are still alive, so I'm gonna lure them over. And so I do. But this blood tick in particular is fucking retarded, and it gets stuck on the statues, because, you know. But even then, they take really just a careful approach, and they just instantly kill it. And I'm like, okay, that's fair, that's fair. Let's go back here, see if you like it back here. I go into that little nest that they have there. There's a bunch of them over here. And again, calling back to the previous video without getting really ranty about it, they have the power, or the host has the power to control his friends and take them further up ahead in the level without having to deal with me, effectively forcing me to chase them around instead of the other way around. They're chasing me around. There's no reason for them to stay in this place, because a blood tick will fucking kill them. It will slap them, and it will just mess them up badly. They don't have to deal with that. The only reason they're still there and they're trying desperately to kill me is because they're blood drunk, they're bloodthirsty, and they just want me gone. They see the numbers game, they see a 3v1, they don't care. They're like, we got this. There's no reason to run away from this guy. It's just one of him, three of us. A couple of blood ticks, nothing we can't take care of, right? So it's that overconfidence that really just nails them. So I'm just sort of waiting around for them to activate or aggro more of those ticks, because I know that once they do, I'm gonna get a kill. I know it. I can feel it. I know that I'm gonna at least one of them. I was actually hoping to kill two of them when a blood tick started to attack, but I was good with just one. I wanted that guy, the overleveled guy, to go first. And he forgot that I existed, and then he gets killed. See? Just like that. It took like, what, 2 seconds for him to just completely melt away. And then look at this. I'm going to be using the blunderbuss as a staggering tool, like I've been mentioning a lot. I'm going to use the blunderbuss to sort of stop the mashing, put some space between us. Shoot him again. Shoot him again. And he was mashing R1 out of stagger, so I noticed. So I stagger him with a blunderbuss, and then I R1 hit him, and just R1 mash him to death, because he doesn't know. He doesn't know he can dodge away. And in a matter of just a couple of seconds, the host is by himself, and he gets me with that funky, spooky, scary phantom backstep, but he doesn't do anything off of it, because he doesn't know what to do, because he doesn't have his friends with him. Fucking Nigel Thornberry over here. People put the most interesting character names. That's why I switched it from online IDs to character names, because some people are just stop. So this is the host once again, showing, you know, that he has the power to decide even when he's gonna die or where he's gonna die. So I'm gonna kill him here, and it doesn't matter, because when he respawns, he'll just grab his echoes again, and the only thing he lost was a couple of minutes trying to kill me. So yeah, just wanted to make a little bit of a chill video as opposed to the other ranty one. I got a little character on the works. You'll be seeing him pretty soon. Something about a blood cop, the blood police. Anyway, join me next time. A top Yarnum rocket scientist tells us how to send a dog to the moon by shooting it with an Evelyn. Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.